Hello everyone, my name is Wayne Hoy. I'm a Solution Manager at Visier, and welcome to another video in our series of technical demonstrations and tutorials about how to do fundamental things with Visier people. In today's video, we are going to look at data enrichments, in particular occupation standardization and skills. These are a little bit beyond the fundamentals, but we wanted to take a chance to show you some higher value things that Visier people does for you. Our objective in this video is to show you how Visier enriches your data so that you can do even more with it. We'll explore what enrichment really is. We'll look at one particular type of enrichment, which is occupation standardization. We'll see how that applies in using Visier benchmarks. And then finally, we're going to take a look at skills. So let's get started. So let's start by talking about what data enrichment even is. Visier is an analytics platform, and as an analytics platform, you load data into it, as you saw in some other videos in this series. And once the data has been loaded, you use our visualization capabilities to make new charts, to explore the questions that you want answers to. You can analyze the data that you provide. Data enrichment is when Visier takes the data that you've provided and actually adds more data to it through machine learning and inference and that sort of a thing. The first concrete example of data enrichment is occupation standardization, or alternately some people will call it job title standardization. And what that means is we take the job titles on the employees and the requisitions that you've loaded through your data, and we will standardize that job title to one of a fixed set of standard occupational titles from our own ontology. And our own ontology has about 3,300 standardized occupational titles. This is really useful because many organizations have lots of different job titles that mean the same thing. They will have slightly different wording. They may use abbreviations versus the full word in some cases. There will be numbers and acronyms and all sorts of things. But a lot of the times they mean the same thing. And if you're analyzing your organization by your own organization's job titles, sometimes it's a bit overwhelming. You don't really get the insights that you want. Visier standardizes them all to a standard word for each role, so that if you're looking for sales managers, you just look for sales managers, and no matter what you called it on each individual employee's business card, you'll be analyzing a common set of people. So the best way to visualize, at least understand what's going on, is a table such as this. And this table is not really meant for analytical insights, but just to show you how your organizational specific job titles here on the left will map to one of the set of 3,300 or more standard occupational titles that exist in Visier's ontology. I've limited it here to 5 because there are many, many job titles in our ontology, and it would be impossible to show 3,300 columns on the screen. Now, what might you use standardized occupations for? Other than sort of clearing up the noise and when you analyze your own internal organization, being able to see people who are actually doing the same thing, no matter what you call them, a major use case for us is for benchmarks, right? So no matter what you call a sales manager, and no matter what any of Visier's other customers calls a sales manager, through this standardization process, we identify who the sales managers are, and then you can compare your sales manager's exit rates to the benchmark sales manager's exit rates, and you can see in context, is your organization doing a very good or a very poor job of retaining that particular type of role. Another example of a data enrichment is skills. Visier can attach to every employee the list of skills they need to be successful in their roles. And all of this happens automatically every time a new data version is generated. Contrast that with trying to build this yourself. You need to pick an ontology, you need to build some artificial intelligence and machine learning algorithms to do the inference, and build the data pipelines and data storage. All of that can take upwards of 30 to 48 months, whereas it comes automatically with Visier people out of the box. What can you do with skills data? Well, skills is super hot right now. One of the things that you can do is you can look at the skills required for certain roles in your organization and start to uncover how easy is it to make the transition from one job to the next. So in this visualization, we're looking at the skills required to be a sales representative, a sales manager, and a vice president of sales. So your talent users, your learning and development users can look at this and see What skills does a sales rep need to add to be a good sales manager? And what skills does a good sales manager need to add to become a good vice president of sales? With that knowledge, they can look at how are they going to design those learning pathways to facilitate a person climbing that career ladder. So skills is another example of a data enrichment provided by Visier People, as is standardized occupations. So this was just a quick look at data enrichments in Visier People, skills and job title standardization and their applications. Thank you very much. Make sure you check out some other videos in this technical series about how to do foundational things and beyond foundational things with Visier People.